Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a review of Aberration, a solo and cooperative town defense game. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. In Aberration, 1 to 4 characters are trying to defend a town in multiple different scenarios. Shadows will be spawning in from 4 directions on the board, and when revealed will spawn different monsters and trigger different effects. If those creatures or shadows get into the town center, they'll raise the fear track and push players closer to defeat. Meanwhile, the heroes are running around the board, fighting off the monsters while also trying to activate different town locations and complete quests. And they level up every turn by removing tokens from their board, which creates the tokens they'll pull from their bag, because this is a bag builder, to resolve their actions and try to defeat the creatures. So let's discuss 5 key things to know about Aberration. So my number 5 point, the least important to know, but still important enough or I wouldn't mention it, are the scenarios, and this is a mix for my taste. So there are a bunch of scenarios in the booklet, and they change a lot of things up. First of all, the boards will be different. They'll use different sides and different numbered boards for the town. They also change up the minions and mini-bosses you'll be fighting, which can have different powers and stats. They also have special rules that change up how the players win or change up different aspects of the game. And they can be long or short, which greatly changes the amount of leveling up you'll do, changes the feel of the game overall. This is all great, but the reason it's still a mix for me is because when you get right down to it, the feel of the scenarios and the core gameplay you're going through is still pretty much the same. Next at number 4 is the fear and survival tracks, the way you win the game, and this is a pro for my taste. So as I mentioned in the intro, when monsters or shadow tokens get into the town center, your fear will increase, and if it gets too high, you lose. But if the players can complete objectives, and these are quite varied, or activate the locations in the town, they'll build up survival to eventually win. And this is a nice, tense conflict. All of my games have come down to the wire generally, and because defeating enemies doesn't directly increase your survival, you really have to walk that tightrope of keeping the town safe while also pushing your actual objectives and goals. It's a nice system overall, and I think more exciting than something like Castle Panic, where you're just defeating enemies and that's it. My number 3 is a mix, although it kind of leans con, and I think it's the thing that's most likely to push people from the game, and that is the luck and swinginess. First of all, there is dice-based combat sometimes. There are many attacks that don't use dice at all, although all enemy attacks do use dice. So sometimes you'll roll terribly, and sometimes you'll roll great. And since characters getting damaged can also force you to draw these transformation cards and immediately increase the fear track, that can contribute to you losing suddenly. But the dice aren't that bad. Where things can get a lot more swingy is in the shadow effect, because some of them just straight up give you a villager and are very helpful. Other ones can add 2 enemies based on player counts. Some can add influence tokens, which permanently lock out locations on the board and make you get mobbed that much faster. And these influence tokens can make things snowball. If you get a lot of influence reveals early in the game, it's going to be incredibly tough to catch up. So there's a lot of variability in the game. That's why this is a mix instead of a full-on con, because it does give the game more replay. The same scenario will play out very differently each time. But it can also be very frustrating, and I've had games where I've lost them just because of a few terrible turns of luck, even though I thought I was playing pretty well. Well, my number 2 is a full-on pro, and those are the class and character combos and how you level up in the game. So first of all, in the core game, they have 6 different classes, 6 different characters, each with special abilities and starting with different things on the board, different tokens in their bag. The characters give you special abilities. The classes determine your entire set of actions. So there's a ton of variety here in combining them, though I will note some are more natural, stronger combos than others, but that's a minor complaint. And then at the beginning of every one of your turns, you get to pull one of these tokens off your board, which is going to give you item cards, single-use cards that are still very useful. You can also boost other characters with them. But then as you remove these tokens, you'll also increase your stats, so you can move farther, so you can pull more tokens from your bag, so you deal more damage. And yes, we have found, especially in shorter scenarios, that often it's better for characters to focus on one stat, if that's what they tend to be doing. But in the longer scenarios, you can diversify more, and you'll get more interesting combos of character abilities. And then also, I mentioned the transformation cards. These do sometimes advance the fear track, but they also, as you take damage in sort of a Cthulhu Death May Die mechanic, give you special powers and ongoing bonuses, which are fun to play with as well. And finally, getting to my number 1, the most important point, and that is the actual action system and the bag pulling in the game. And this is a pro for my taste as well. So you'll pull 3 or more based on your leveling up tokens from the bag, and you can use them for a bunch of different actions, which again are based on your class. But you always have some basic movement and attack actions, but then the different classes will have all kinds of different things to do with the different colored tokens. To fight off monsters, to tactically move around the board, you can also collaboratively help each other, like some classes can move other people around, or attack with their assistance. And the tactical options are increased because you can hold a token for the next turn, which might allow you to do something like activate a location that's going to help you win the game by increasing your survival. And the locations themselves give you more actions to use the townsfolk to help you fight things off, to move monsters around, get more items. Now sometimes, and I actually forgot to mention this in the swinginess point, you'll just draw the wrong things, like you need a red and you have a bunch in your bag, but you just don't draw one, and suddenly you can't do the action you need and you lose the game. But putting those swingy turns to the side, the core choices of how to use your actions, when to save them and do more on your next turn, are pretty interesting and engaging time after time. So overall, you might want to check out Aberration if you like quick playing adventure games, if you like tower defense games, or if you like bag builders with tense action choices. On the other hand, you might want to avoid this one if you don't like challenging games. Even on the easiest difficulty with every option in, I've still managed to lose quite a lot. Or if you don't like games with a lot of randomness and swinginess, because that is certainly present here, especially in the shorter scenarios. And if you want to see the game in action, I have a full playthrough of a short scenario on the channel. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.